All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to the fourth episode of the Bigger Market podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Weiser, CEO of Go-to-Market Translations and Consulting. We're here bi-weekly to bring you everything you need from exclusive guests, interviews, tech reviews, case studies on companies that we all know and love. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to today's guest, Ryan Yep, from the workspace virtual reality app Immersed. What's up? How you doing, Ryan?
How's it going, Jeff? Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. You and I see each other all the time, which I'm thrilled about because we're able to co-work in the same physical space. I like to use that terminology because it just blows my mind every time I say it. And I'd love to jump right into talking about Immersed, or maybe start by opening things up to you. Like, is there anything that you want to start with? Introduce yourself. Tell us all about you, Immersed, whatever you'd like to start with.
Sure, yeah. Like you said, my name is Ryan Yep. I am the community manager here at Immerse. Been part of the team here for about 6 months now, and we're partnered with Facebook, or now known as Meta. I have to kind of get used to that, and HCC, Microsoft, just to build virtual offices. So imagine a way to put on your in the future Apple glasses, Facebook glasses, Meta glasses, and to be able to teleport to the office as opposed to having to drive in. So, um, it goes without due that a lot of the different ways that we work has been changed forever by the pandemic. A lot of folks are looking for uh, maybe not looking to work remotely 100% of the time, but they like that flexible arrangement where they can be in the office or working from home. But all that being said, distributed teams are needing some solutions to be able to collaborate better, have more better separation between work and personal time. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing.
I have to say, once again, I'm talking to someone who I have very like the product that they've made it immersive something that is really something I use every day, right? I want to make sure I put that in there. It's actually been critical to building go-to-market. I won't lie. From bringing up a bit, building the business plan from scratch, more effectively using immerse technology to actually being able to co-work in immersed. Hello, my coworker. We're in real life today, but we often, actually up until today, we've only had co-working sessions, true co-working sessions in immersed. I just have to say what you guys are doing is amazing. I love it. Um, Tell us a little bit more about, what you think the main benefits are for someone who today, maybe let's say, needs to work more closely with people, but hasn't had the opportunity to experience something like Immerse. Try to bring it down to
Yeah,
us, how it feels.
yeah. Great question. So there's at least a couple of different use cases. First, it's the solo use case, meaning if you're needing to get into deep work, focusing, not getting distracted, that's one kind of use case. But then there's a second use case where probably if you're not, I guess for most people, you're working with other people on a team, and so you need to be able to collaborate with them, communicate with them. And so if you're not actually in the same physical space with someone, it can be very challenging because you're only looking at, like right now, we're looking at a 2D screen. And
Mm-hmm.
so with Immerse, it's the videos online don't really do it justice, but imagine, like we said earlier, putting on glasses, being teleported into a virtual workspace where it's distraction free. You can spawn up to 5 virtual screens coming from one computer, and being able to see maybe a coworker, a friend, a loved one who's also not able to be there physically with you, and you guys being able to have a conversation together, being able to collaborate together by seeing the same screen, whiteboarding, that sort of thing. And so there's this
Mm-hmm.
element of what we're building uh, in a virtual space, seeing each other's avatars right now. But hopefully in the future, at some point, it will seem even more realistic, being able to see what you really look like in person, Jeff, and for myself. But there's a sense of
If
connection.
you really want to see that, I mean, I might be more favorable in VR, but we'll roll with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So, but it's incredible to be able to be in the same physical environment, and there's a sense of presence that you can't really get on a two-way communication looking on a 2D screen like this.
Hmm. Again, personally attesting to that. I literally got my headset when I heard about Immersed. Enough about me. Let's talk about everybody else who's experiencing Immersed. You are the community manager, Ryan. Tell us about that, about your role at Immersed um, and what you're doing.
Yeah, great question. So, our focus as a company right now, I think when you think about, I mean, community building seems like this buzzword in the tech space right now, but it's important to realize it's not just putting on a bunch of different events and trying to get a bunch of people together in the room
Hmm.
for brand loyalty. It's what it really is trying to identify having alignment in the organization between what is the overarching goal for the company, what's the focus, what are the goals, and what are the values, and then aligning, having community kind of come alongside the company in order to help achieve those goals. And so um, really kind of what my day looks like on a daily basis is really just interacting is with as many users as possible. So onboarding new users, educating users, um, even talking to people that maybe Immerse isn't for them at this time. So some churn users, um, and also just providing great support, great customer service to a lot of our members that join us on Discord. Discord is primarily where most of our community interactions take place, and so
Hmm.
in those conversations, just trying to continue to identify what are some pain points that they're experiencing with the product, or what are some better ways that we can serve them, and then as a community as a whole, as a lot of the same things kind of bubble up, understanding what are the actual community needs. So what we want to build from the community side is really, I think it would be pretty amazing if we can build a kind of community where even if the Immerse, the product, cease to exist, people would not want to lose that community. And so we're really at the ground floor of things right now with that, but that's where we hope to take uh, community.
Oh, it's a huge project to say the least, right? But I love it. I mean, I think as soon as you and I started talking, I said I'm so grateful that you've been designated to this role because Immersed has great customer service. I've seen that ever since the beginning, and then you come in to make it even better because you're specifically designated to listen to people and to help them come together. It's great. What do you think the uh, how do you think the community, the immersed community, is shaping immersed's path right now?
Yeah, so just to take a step back, I would say when Renji Bejoy, who started the company about 3, 4 years ago,
Hmm.
he wanted to make sure that customer service and support was really top of mind, and being able to have as close of a connection with the user as possible. And I know that can be even kind of like a buzzword today in the tech space, just knowing what the customer needs are. But really, I think when you're able to have as many interactions with what customers are saying or what users are saying, that only will enable you to make the product better. And so at one point, we had a goal of responding to every question on Discord within 1 to 3 seconds. And so that happened
My God, that's
for a
incredible.
couple of years. But as
That
you can
explains a lot.
imagine, it's not scalable from the sense of the Discord had changed some of the, I guess, the back end stuff, and as the community had continued to grow, it became more difficult to be able to have that fast of a response time. But we still have that as part of our DNA of just try to be as responsive to the customer, go above and beyond those sort of things.
Shout out to Daniel, who definitely was the first person to really get help me get set up and immersed. I'm surprised that he hasn't had a heart attack by now because yes, he does respond within 1 to 3 seconds on there, and he's not the only one, right? I'm shouting out to him because he personally helped me, but I mean, is true. That's incredible. It kind of reminds me, and Renji's. I would have to ask this maybe to Renji in person if you don't know, but I uh I read a book by David Cancel called Hypergrowth, right? And he lays out. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but he basically lays out what you described, the development of the product through extremely close connection to the users. It's almost like definite that influenced Renji and some of the founders. I'm guessing. I'm
Yep.
just guessing, but you can
Hmm.
totally feel it.
Well, that's a really big encouragement because that's um, again, I think a lot of times a lot of folks can say these things like be customer centric or serve the customer first, that sort of thing. It can be very repetitive, I would say, kind of in the software industry, but that's really truly part of our DNA, not just because we want to help the user, but we don't exist without the users. And we really started from the very beginning as a company. We started because of a need that Renji felt. Him himself being a developer, he wanted a better way to do pair programming. And so how it just
To
any
do,
of the
sorry,
other
can you say that again?
solutions.
You said to do pair programming or peer
Yeah,
programming?
pair programming. So it's the whole idea of you're in the
Hmm.
same room with a developer. So this is normal
Mm,
and on dev teams where you have one developer sitting here and then you have another developer sitting next to you, and you're
right.
literally just sharing the same screen and code base and uh, finding ways to optimize the code or do some problem solving on how to actually write the code. And so when you talk about distributed teams, that's nearly impossible. You'd have to. I don't know of another way to do that. I mean, you can kind of share your screen using like Google Meets or Zoom, but to try to recreate that in the same room, that's at least I'm not aware of prior to Immerse. There wasn't any other solution like that, and so that's really kind of how the company got started. The product, that's the need that Renji wanted to set out to solve, and it's not surprising that a lot of our users today are actually our developers, not
Yeah.
necessarily just from the pair programming perspective, but also being able to be hyper focused for a duration of time, distraction free, and they're so accustomed to working on multiple screens at the same time because you have different pieces of information, and in the physical world that it's not as easy to do that.
Mm. I mean, you could like you guys have some funny videos. I'm sure we'll see the little clips of the videos as we do the edit. He got the one that I remember when I first got immersed. It was a little commercial of a guy who just insisted on traveling around everywhere he went with like 5 monitors, and then
Yeah.
this cool guy named Gavin was like, "Dude, just put this on. That's all you need." It was good. You guys have done some good things in communicating that. You say something interesting there about who the I guess the customer base of Immersed is today. Um, as is the nature with any startup, but especially with a virtual reality startup in today's environment of the metaverse or whatever I like to call it the whatever verse because I'm just in the business of creating terms as well, right? Making the best
Hmm.
terms with the
Yeah.
with the whatever verse and all that. So my question is, many of your users today are developers. What does this look like in 5 or 6 years from now? Who will your customer base be, or you could say, I guess you could say your community
Yeah.
base, or I don't know if that's the same thing or separate.
Yeah, great question. We really just kind of see developers as kind of like I guess, the front door or just kind of the very beginning.
Hmm.
As I continue to just build relationships with a lot of our newer users, a lot of them are they're writers, a lot of them are students, a lot of them are product managers, marketing. I'm trying to think if there's another. Honestly, I think there is no necessarily a specific use case. For example, just any I would say any type of work for that someone needs to do that requires them to try to be as distract free as possible and to be focused for a duration of time. That's I think Immerse really kind of addresses some of those pain points that a lot of users face because I don't know about you, Jeff, but I have so many different notifications on my phone. Sometimes I can have so many, even in your physical space. I know you have kids, and for me, if I'm working from home, I can easily get distracted by like if I'm just kind of looking around. I'm like, I don't feel like working right now, but it looks like I
Yeah.
could probably vacuum right now. Like there's just
Yeah.
these all these little things that happen where we can easily get distracted and kind of the kind of work that we're doing here at Immerse, we're trying to help uh, literally anyone be more, I guess, really just be distraction free and to be able to be focused for a specific set of amount of time for them to be able to get their work done or meetings done so that hopefully gives them more time back in their day to do the things that they love.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely been the case for me and other people that I know that use Immersed on a regular basis. Uh, I can remember building our business plan. I had a spreadsheet, the same spreadsheet copied on 5 monitors. Like literally, to be able to manage the numbers, right? If you have a not great short-term memory like me, then being able to manage numbers, even if it's just one spreadsheet on different screens, was huge. It was like I was able to make calculations so much faster. And if I had to go through tabs or things like that, more room
Mhm.
for error as well if I weren't using Immersed, right? That's how what I experienced with that. So I'm not a developer, but there's one use case right there, right? Just using freaking spreadsheets becomes
That's
much
crazy.
easier.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Um, Tell us a little bit about some of the fun stuff you guys have been doing lately. I know that in the last couple of weeks there was like a giveaway for. Can tell us about the giveaway you guys did recently.
Yeah. So, I think just kind of going along with our I don't know, for lack of better words, cultural trends or just
Hmm.
seasonal things. There's always like a Black Friday sale or holiday sale.
Hmm.
And we have a lot of support from our members in our community. And so we want to just provide another avenue to um, just to be able to show our appreciation. So by giving them just a potential opportunity to win a Quest 2 headset, the K830 keyboard, and a membership and to Immerse and yeah. So and then also along with that, we were giving away discounted licenses on anyone that signed up for annual membership and there's definitely a pretty good success behind that and
Hmm.
it just continues to affirm just that a lot of our members really believe in the product, believe in what we're doing, and hopefully we can continue to um, be able to blow away their expectations moving forward as they continue to support us.
Did you get a winner for the
We
giveaway, the first
did, we
giveaway?
did.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't remember which specific user had won the giveaway. That's
Yeah.
someone on our content team had followed up with them. We actually did.
Hmm.
We experimented with doing a little meme giveaway of sorts, or a contest rather, in our Discord where people could just for a duration of like 48 hours just kind of give us their best, work appropriate
Yeah.
meme of like Immerse or the metaverse, and
We'll grab
it
a
was
few of
really
those and we'll
cool.
put them here too.
Yeah,
Those are good.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we were able to take the winner's meme and we were getting it printed on a T-shirt and we're mailing it to them.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh man. So yeah, I remember seeing those come by as well. I wanted to participate, but I think it was a very busy week, so I'll have to catch you on the next one. But it was pretty cool. It's really rewarding to be part of the immersive community because you get to see all this stuff and it's fun. You have a good time. Um, and yeah, and I know you're there to shepherd everybody personally. Like let's explode Ryan's inbox. Ready? Go. Or 3, 2, 1, go. Discord's gonna
yeah,
go boom. All right. So, cool, man. I mean, I will share that from my side. Go to market is exploring this concept of community as well. We're a new business. I think I can pretty openly say this is even a community oriented thing where we know that we have followers ourselves of go-to-markets, what go-to-market is doing, our content, and how we're providing value for people who are interested in the material that we're putting out. So, in part, this has been really useful to be able to understand just from an expert's perspective how things run. So I really thank you for giving the time to taking the time to get on here with us. Is there anything else that we haven't
Sure.
covered yet that you'd like to talk about?
I think I guess I could touch on a little bit about how there can be this fear of the metaverse just at large.
Hmm.
And it's not even necessarily just directed at like a particular company. It's just more the fact that there's a lot of questions about how, we're so addicted to our smartphones, then what are the implications of wearing, glasses or a headset? And I would say there's always trade-offs, even with
Hmm.
since the invention of the internet, but we're kind of entering in this phase of, I guess, as an industry or as like just technology in general. Um, don't quote me on this, but I think we're kind of back at this phase where it's kind of like 1999, where
Hmm.
the personal, computing is becoming more accessible. So we're kind of at this stage with the Quest 2, and there's just a sea of opportunity. There's a lot of stuff going on, even in like the metaverse at large, like crypto, for example. There's a lot of like experimentation. There's a lot of uh, things even going on with developments with headsets of what's possible. And I would say that just kind of what we're trying to do here at Immerse is really trying to build something that is an actual good use case and a utility, not necessarily because we can do so and from a technology standpoint, but we really
Hmm.
think that we're building something that can really serve a lot of people well. That's definitely just kind of part of our ethos as a company. And again, I probably have said this multiple times on this call, but really what we care about is being able to provide, in a sense, I feel like the product is community building. Because what you're
Uh-huh.
doing is you're trying to blend the the best of both worlds, the virtual world and also the physical world. And there's obviously some sort of limitations from the physical world, but there's a lot of opportunity in the virtual world where you can try to take the best of both and kind of blend them together. So even right now with Immerse, yes, a lot of people are able to get a lot of work done and be able to have 5 virtual screens and put them on different, whatever sizes, that really do, allow them to be comfortable and focused and working.
Hmm.
But just really excited about the future of what, really where the hardware goes and what we're able to build on that so that others can be able to experience maybe an immersive community, but from a virtual standpoint. So, no longer will you ever have to necessarily fly across the world to go to a meeting. And I would say that we hope to never replace the in-person experience, but this is only to supplement that.
The in-person
But
experience is like this, right?
yeah,
So that's a good thing,
exactly,
but I
exactly.
mean, I'm gonna have a rich experience with continuing to work with Sophia and with Claire
Hmm. Hmm.
and all my other colleagues once I go back into
Hmm.
Immersed.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so we're just really excited, so thankful for the opportunity, right place at the right time, and can't wait to see what the future holds.
Yeah, I mean, my 2 cents on that is that you are hitting the nail on the head with trying to find the best of both worlds. And I mean, back to what you originally said, there is a lot of anxiety and fear about what the metaverse is. I'm pretty sure that almost everybody who has that hasn't put a headset on, a virtual reality headset, because there's this quick
Hmm.
transformation once you do it that makes you see things
Hmm.
quite differently. I believe that like everything, you have to be careful and cautious of what's coming up, but
Yeah.
also going
Yeah,
in
real
optimistically is
quickly,
useful.
I can tell you just from personal experience, when I first started using Immerse and tried VR for the first time, I thought it was really cool that I was in a virtual environment, but I think what really blew me away was my literal first interaction with another user in Immerse was I was in the glass house, and
Uh,
this other user, I met them literally at the same time I had teleported in the room, and he was based in Philadelphia, and we hit it off over baseball. And I'm a huge baseball fan, and it just kind of
yeah,
blew me away the fact that, you know, I mean, part of it I think was during the middle of the pandemic, but the reality of I could literally feel like I'm in the same physical room with someone and meet someone new and connect over even something about baseball and virtual reality. That really blew me away, and that really kind of helped, I guess, make things more stickier for me, and just
right.
being able to begin to understand the possibilities.
Mm, exactly, and that's I think you're embodying that quite well with the community efforts at Immersed, man. So how does one join the Immersed community?
Yeah, you can just find us on immerse.com and slash forward slash community. You can have a free invite to our Discord.
Hmm.
And we're a free application on the Oculus App Store. We're on the Oculus Quest 1 and 2, and we're also on the HTC Vive Focus 3. So with hopes and plans to be on as many headsets in the future as possible. But right now, we're just a small team, and we're trying to make the best use of what we can do right now.
Oh, I know you guys are going to be there. There's no doubt. Like once you see Immersed and what it does, you'll understand that this is going far. Final thing, how can people get in touch with you personally if they have any questions?
Yeah, you can just find me on Twitter at Ryan Yep. Really simple. Or you can reach out to us on any of our socials on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, on the Immerse handle, and I'm happy to talk with people there.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much. I guess that's all we have for today. It was fantastic to sit here and talk with Ryan, though for me, it's just like another day talking to him since we meet
Yeah,
every, by the way, I'll give this shout out every Tuesday and Thursday. It's, what is it, 9 a.m. Central Time?
yeah, 9 to
9
11.
a.m. Central Time, we have our immersed co-working hours. So if you want to actually get in and see what the heck we're talking about, get yourself a headset. They're not that expensive anymore. Probably a Quest 2, depending on when you see this. Maybe, I don't know, like the chip that you put in your brain. Who
Yeah.
knows if you see this in 10 years. But no, just get in there and hang out with us on 9 o'clock Central Time to 11 o'clock Central Time. Ryan's always there hosting, and we have a good time. I think
Sounds
that's when
good.
I asked you to come on the podcast was when we met for that.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, right on.
Maybe for a future podcast we can get some other members on the community together, and we can do a round robin of some sort.
I love that idea. Definitely
Yeah,
love that. Or some sort of an event. Yeah. You're
yeah,
you're lobbing them over to me, man. Thanks a lot.
for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody. That wraps up another episode of the Bigger Market Podcast. Join us again in another 2 weeks for the next episode. Ryan Yep from Immerse. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
I just do what comes natural.